All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry now. This is Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rosen. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on 2nd down. Chung over the middle. That's caught by Taylor. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On second down, Johnson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down, here's Henry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. A first down carry for Henry. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Chung forced out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Chung. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And that will set him up in excellent shape. First and goal at the 9-yard line. Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run for it with Henry. And he is going to to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. From the gun, Chung. Dancing to his left. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Throwing on third and long. Chung. And that is caught by Davis for a Tennessee touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. On second down, here's Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Gun. Here's Josh Rosen. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. Gronkowski, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Leopard! Leopard!
Again to Henry. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Penalty, it's Henry, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
To throw on second down, Chung. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. Third down here. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Back to throw. Chung. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Detroit!
Now a handoff to Henry. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Looking to throw on second down. Chung. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! Gone!
Operating from the gun. Chung is going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Chung. He may try and run for this. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Rosen underneath for Johnson. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Derrick Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Looking to throw. Chung. Goes underneath for Henry. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Chung. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. His throw incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now Rosen. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Rosen on 1st down. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. The Jets out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on second down. Chung got his man complete over the middle. That's Taylor. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Titans on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Everyone's got four down. Hot!
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They go to Johnson again. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Gone!
So now it's Rosen looking. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
Throwing to start the drive. Chung. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on 1st down to Josh Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Johnson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. And an alley to run. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Titans. In for the score. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now up to 14. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Flush to his right. Pass incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They pitch it out to Johnson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Now it's Rosen. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Here's Rosen to throw. And that play will go nowhere. losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now Rosen looking to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go.
Rosen now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Hogan, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said, it's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Chung. He dumps it off for Henry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. A handoff, running left, Henry. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Chung. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive. 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3 and out.
Gun! Hey. 4 down.
Now it's Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd and 2, Chung. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. Open man, it's Vanette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now a handoff. Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. He's at the 30, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to the air, Rosen after the pick six. He's going to air it out deep for Hogan. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Rosen will throw. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, it's Rosen. Trying to lay one up deep. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vannett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. And he's able to put it through. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Titans are going to recover the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run it again with Henry. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points, so that's not mission accomplished. It's darn close.
And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. And they take a knee. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got